So this is my experience with the Wonder Child Challenge, and this challenge was sweet. I really enjoyed it. I'm in the middle of the Legacy Challenge, and I'm enjoying that too, but I'm about my 4th generation, and I'm getting a bit bored, and wanted to try something new. And I'm still playing The Sims 4, still enjoyed the game, so this really appealed to me. I decided to get started and had a bit of a game plan. My game plan was to have an athlete and an artist, and to pass their skills on to the child to give them 3 aspirations to complete. Obviously art aspiration, obviously athletic aspiration, and the household aspiration to get a big old house. And that was my game plan. Decided to take my time with my adult Sims. They didn't get together straight away, and in fact they hated each other straight away. I couldn't get these guys to like each other at all, and in turn they didn't share a bed for the first 4 days, so I had to kind of awkwardly get one in, get one out. Annoying. So they took their time. Eventually they did start to like each other, and they did woohoo, and we did have a pregnancy, which was superb. And I have a child called Cleopatra. Now at this point I realized that my plans weren't going to plan. And even though my art female mother Sim was doing well, she completed her art aspiration, was ready to teach the child art, my athletic aspiration I felt was actually taking a bit too long, and in turn would be a bit too long for the Wonder Child. So I decided to duck out of that and focus on the household aspiration, and instead went for a career in lots of money, aka gaming and pro gaming and live stream, and I thought that was probably the best source of income. So I decided to go for that, and so my adult Sim male was a bit of a concoction of weirdness. I also forgot to mention that I decided to go for slobs as their traits, and art lovers as both their traits. I don't really feel that traits are that big of a deal in the game, and I figured that actually slobs was quite a perk because they didn't care where they lived. Right, so when Cleopatra was born, obviously that's when the game kind of starts, and I really took my time with her. I was literally starting and stopping, make sure that every second of her life was spent to good use. I didn't want her to sleep a day in her life, and because of that I decided to just constantly feed her the sleep replacement potions that the adults would give her, and that sounds incredibly cruel, but obviously I need the points. And that worked really, really well, and actually the child part of my Wonder Child Challenge was probably the best. She got the 3 child aspirations. She got, off the top of my head, the art one, the motor skills one, and the mental one. And that was great. That's the best one. Like social wise, Social Butterfly takes a bit too long, and I only had about a day left to try and finish it, which was nigh impossible. But she also got grade A pretty quickly as well. She had 7 days left, so 7 points from there, which I was really happy about. But sadly, this is also the point when I realized that I was missing out on a lot of points. And the traits, I didn't know you could, that the traits from the rewards store actually counted towards the points. I thought that was a bit OP, and you couldn't do that, and I was mistaken. So that's a lot of points that I was missing out on, and I only had one, which was Never Weary. I got that around halfway through her child life. So that sucks, so I had to change my game plan for her team to try and make up these points, because I was sucking. And now Cleopatra entered her teenage years, and things are going swimmingly. She achieved gold in her party, which I was actually a bit worried about, and happy to get. I also decided to choose the barrister career, as it had little hours and a lot of time to reach the top of her career rank. I decided to also fix her dress code, as the game decided to give me something very odd. Green polka dot skirts and a black vest type thing, knee-high socks and blue boots with sunglasses. It was a mess. And I gave her something a bit more stylish, and sadly due to genetics and due to her mother getting quite fat, she also ended up being quite chunky, so I decided to fix that with a potion. And she turned extremely skinny, quite worryingly skinny actually, with no butt. I don't know what happened to her. I kind of preferred her the way she was before, at least when she was a bit plumper. She had a bit of junk in her trunk, but whatever. I think these things happen. So making up for lost time, I made an effort to really fulfill her needs and desires, to give her more currency to purchase more traits. And we did that. We actually really made up. And I'm happy, with how many we got in the amount of time. She also achieved the top rank of her career very quickly with 9 days left of her teen life. And also grade A student with 8 days left of her teen life. So yeah, we were making up for lost time. She was, for the first part of her teenage career, she achieved a lot. I was really happy. But sadly, that was the pinnacle, and things started to go a bit downhill, mainly due to poor choices that I had made, of course. Sadly, I had taken too long for the parents to give birth to her, and the parents were probably going to die before she reached adulthood, and that was going to suck, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't sure. I thought the game might just say, you know, teenage can't live in this house without an adult sim, blah blah blah, and that would be it. GG, game over. Sucks. So, that was a worry, and I didn't really know what to do, and yeah, I was just going to play it by ear, really. I also made the wrong choice in the second aspiration, as the fitness was an option, as I had stopped pursuing that with the male. So I decided to choose music, as she was liking her creativity, and sadly that was the wrong choice. I also failed to achieve the home aspiration, the mansion baron, having a house worth around 350,000 simoleons. I failed this completely. I was about 100,000 simoleons short. But I made an attempt. I thought that if I sold my paintings that would then give me more simoleons, but sadly that took away the wealth of my house. I didn't know that. Though it's pretty much common sense really, but at least you get to see my attempt and this bastardization of a house, as it's just a complete mess. But it's glorious, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. While things are going from bad to worse, I was still pursuing the music career, and it was just eating up my time. She was already max skill of the violin. She was just wasting time at making songs. It took so long. And then I decided to lecture my father in the violin for hours upon hours, and once I achieved that, I then realized I needed 30 additional hours of playing the violin to complete the aspiration, and sadly that meant I couldn't complete it, which was really, really sad. I spent so long trying to do it, and it would have been nice to get those 10 points for the amount of time I invested into it, but alas, didn't make it. But you live and learn, and I know next time, my second aspiration, I will choose Bookworm. I was kicking myself constantly towards the end of this challenge, as I should have chosen that, even though no one could mentor her in it. So, yeah, mistakes were made. Oh well, next time. And as predicted, a sim had died, my mother. She was quite fat, and she just dropped dead, sadly. The Grim Reaper was very unforgiving, only let me save her once, and then the following time just took her away from me. Very sad, but my father didn't leave, and I'm really happy about that. He lasted for an additional 2 days, and that's great news, and I presume that might be to do with his fitness. That's the only logical reason, perhaps a bit of RNG, I'm not sure, but very happy, as again, I didn't know what was going to happen if he died. Right, and yeah, I got a gold medal in my final birthday party, and yeah, wrapping up the game. We learned a lot of things. I thought I would totally dominate this, but I can see a lot of room for improvement. And going through my points, as you can see, child skills I did very well, 36. Teen skills I achieved 56. Level 10 child skills 3, level 10 teen skills 3. And then the traits, which I managed to really pull back, 22 traits. I worked my butt off. I think I only bought one with the aspiration rewards when she was a child, and I purchased the rest when she was a teen. So that shows how much dedication I did in pleasing her and fulfilling her needs. Days as an A student as a child was 7. Teenager days as an A student was 8. And teenage days at the top of the career was 9. Yeah, so that gives me a total of 364 points, which, hey, I'm not sure how that does against other people, but it's great for me. I'm not going to redo this challenge right away, but I have definite room for improvement. But probably a similar path. I would go for a female mother art aspiration, but instead of the male kind of weird fitness tech guru kind of bastardization I did, I would go for a bookworm, and go for the novelist or journalist career, one of those two. As I think that mentoring my child to be a book writer, and then the money from that would also benefit getting the potential Mansion Baron aspiration. So, it's great. I really enjoy this challenge. I recommend it to anyone who hasn't done it before. I hope you enjoyed my video, and all the best. Take care.